task. A vial of blood emptied into the urn. That is all I ask.
I believe we can work together, Coldgrim.
And what? Encourage the worship of a large lizard? Consider your actions carefully.
What is better, the the religion that praises a living lizard from the religion that praises a dead prophet? I have considered it.
Not enough.
You will only be satisfied when I undo what you want.
Why would anyone be content with stupidity?
Stan, I know what I'm doing. Shut the fuck up.
Take this. The blood of the dragon. You know what you must do.
Excellent. With Colgrim on our side, we could make it through this entire ordeal with our necks intact.
Now, I shall beseech the Holy Andraste to let you pass safely into the inner sanctum.
Yes, this is much better. His ears come out of the helmet. Okay.
Hi, Dragon. We're not planning on actually fighting it, are we? Couldn't we just sneak around it?
Now that is Atashi.
Let's bring Liliana so she can take a peek at
Indeed.
Glorious Andraste.
Right away.
Inventory is full. Are you fucking kidding me? Can I fast travel here? I should be. No, I cannot. Okay.
Blood and damnation.
Andraste, I pray you, stay your wrath. I bring before you your champion, who will fall upon your enemies as a cleansing flame, paving the way for your glory. O beloved Andraste, O holy Andraste, we praise your name. I have spoken to the beloved Andraste. She will let you pass.
Yeah. You are right, Andraste is glorious.
Succeed in your task, and you will share in her glory. We await your triumphant return. Go, show yourself to be Andraste's true champion.
I spoke to Andraste. That guy is really funny. The Gauntlet. The Guardian. Okay.
I feel like we have just entered the Grand Cleric's bedchambers, where no one has gone before.
I mislike this.
Yeah, I do as well. Andraste's arrows. I cannot get those. Okay, I think it's time we have a good look at the inventory. Always fun. Let me see if I can give them arrows. Should be. Okay.
As you say.
I bid you welcome, Pilgrim.
You must be a guardian.
Yes, I am the Guardian of the Ashes. I have waited years for this.
For me?
You are the first to arrive in a very long time. It has been my duty, my life, to protect the urn and prepare the way for the faithful who come to revere Andraste. For years beyond counting have I been here, and shall I remain until my task is done and the Imperium has crumbled into the sea.
The Imperium is no longer as powerful as it once was, sadly.
Ah, is it not? Then perhaps this is the beginning of the end.
What do you know of the disciples of Andraste?
When my brethren and I carried Andraste from Tevinter to this sanctuary, we vowed to forever revere her memory and guard her. I have watched generations of my brethren take up the mantle of their fathers. For centuries they did this, unwavering, joyful in their appointed task. But now they have lost their way. They have forgotten Andraste and their promise.
No, they have discovered Andraste. Whatever. In a sense, they haven't forgotten her.
They have forgotten that Andraste was just a messenger. They speak no more of the Maker, only of their false Andraste, an even greater sin.
Okay. How did the belief spread to the rest of the disciples?
It began with an ancestor of the one known as Colgrim. He saw himself as a new prophet, preaching the rebirth. Some disagreed with him. I heard their cries of pain and loss, which were quickly silenced.
Colgrim and his followers do not regard you very highly.
Colgrim knows not of what he speaks. His heart is laced with poison, and he has led many astray.
So the dragon is not undressed. That's a good question. Oh, what a stupid thing to say.
No. Our Andraste has gone to the Maker's side. She will not return. The dragon is a fearsome creature, and they must have seen her as an alternative to the absent Maker and his silent Andraste. A true believer would not require audacious displays of power.
What about you? Who are you?
I am all that remains of the first disciples. I swore I would protect the urn as long as I lived, and I have lived a very long time.
But he didn't protect the other disciples. I guess he's bound to the temple itself somehow. Because yeah, he could have gone out and prevented the original Colgrim to do what he did. Whatever. The first disciples, did you know Andrasta?
Did anyone really know her, save the Maker? She would sometimes spend weeks alone in meditation, often without food or water.
Please tell me more about the false prophet.
I cannot express in words my love for Andraste. You must seek her out for yourself. Everyone must.
How is it possible you have lived for so long?
I made a vow to Andraste and to the Maker. My life is tied to the ashes. As long as they remain, so will I.
What can you tell me about the urn?
You already know that the urn contains the remains of the prophet Andraste. What else is there to tell?
Let's not waste time then. How do I get to the urn?
You have come to honor Andraste, and you shall, if you prove yourself worthy.
But what if I'm not worthy?
Then you will not come to the ashes. It is not my place to decide your worthiness. The Gauntlet does that. If you are found worthy, you will see the urn and be allowed to take a small pinch of the ashes for yourself. If not...
What is the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet tells the true pilgrims from the false. You will undergo 4 tests of faith, and we shall see how your soul fares.
That sounds unpleasant. Can it be avoided?
No.
I'm afraid. Can you tell me anything else about the Gauntlet?
You will understand what it is when you face it.
But a cryptic bastard. Very well, I'm ready to enter.
Before you go, there is something I must ask. I see that the path that led you here was not easy. There is suffering in your past. Your suffering, and the suffering of others. Jarwin was discovered by the Templars. You were helping him. Tell me, do you think you failed, Jarwin?
No! I tried my best. It wasn't my fault.
Then you do not dwell on past mistakes. Neither yours, nor someone else's.
Oh, good. For a moment there, I thought you were going to go on a weepy tirade and try to share your feelings.
Arshera, leave the past where it falls.
And now the self-flagellation? Oh, that is what comes next in these things, no?
And what of those that follow you? And the Antivan elf?
Oh, is it my turn now? Hurrah! I'm so excited.
Many have died at your hand. But is there any you regret more than a woman by the name of...
How do you know about that?
I know much. It is allowed to me. The question stands, however. Do you regret?
Yes, the answer is yes, if that's what you wish to know. I do. Now move on.
Demand whatever answers you want, Spirit.
You came to this land as an observer, but you killed a family in a blind rage. Have you failed your people by allowing a Qunari to be seen in that light?
I have never denied that I failed.
The way is open. Good luck, and may you find what you seek.
Sten approves, okay. I'm glad. Now to read the book. The Maker's first children. Didn't I read this? Okay, I don't know, so let's read it again. Maker's first creation were the spirits, glorious beings that populated the many spires of the Golden City. And the chant of light says they revered the Maker with unquestioning devotion. The Maker, however, was dissatisfied. Although the spirits were like him in that they could manipulate the ether and create from it, they did not do so. They had no urge to create, and even when instructed to do so, possessed no imagination to give their creations ingenuity or life. The Maker realized his own folly. He had created the spirits to resemble him in all but the one and most important way. They did not have the spark of the divine within them. He expelled all the spirits out of the Golden City into the Fade and proceeded to his next creation, life. The Maker created the world and the living beings upon it. Separated from the Fade by the veil, his new children would be unable to shape the world around them and thus would need to struggle to survive. In return for their struggle, the Maker gave them the spark of the divine, a soul, and he watched them with pleasure as his creation flourished and showed all the ingenuity he had hoped for. The spirits grew jealous of the living and coaxed them into the Fade when they slept. The spirits wished to know more of life, hoping to find a way to regain the Maker's favor. Through the eyes of the living, they experienced new concepts: love, fear, pain, and hope. The spirits reshaped the Fate to resemble the lives and concepts they saw, and each spirit desperately trying to bring the most dreamers to their own realm so they could vicariously possess a spark of the divine through them. As the spirits grew in power, however, some of them became contemptuous of the living. These were the spirits that saw the darkest parts of the dreamers. Their lands were places of torment and horror, and they knew that the living were strongly drawn to places that mirrored those dark parts of themselves. These spirits questioned the Maker's wisdom and proclaimed the living inferior. They learned from the darkness they saw and became the first demons. Rage, hunger, sloth, desire, pride. These are the dark parts of the soul that give demons their power, the hooks they use to claw their way into the world of the living. It was demons that whispered into the minds of men, convincing them to turn from the Maker and worship false gods. They seek to possess all life as their due, forging kingdoms of nightmare in the Fade and the hopes of one day storming the walls of heaven itself. And the Maker despaired once again, for he had given the power of creation to his new children, and in return they had created sin. From the Maker's first children by Vader, senior enchanter of Ostwick. 812 blessed. Creating sin. Many people would praise whomever did that. Okay.
Echoes from a shadow realm, whispers of things yet to come. Thought's strange sister dwells in night, is swept away by dawning light.
What?
Of what do I speak?
What? Could you repeat that?
Echoes from a shadow realm, whispers of things yet to come. Thought's strange sister dwells in night, is swept away by dawning light. Of what do I speak?
Dreams, yeah. Dreams.
A dream came upon me as my daughter slumbered beneath my heart. It told of her life, and of her betrayal and death. I am sorrow and regret. I am a mother weeping bitter tears for a daughter she could not save.
The smallest lark could carry it, while a strong man might not. Of what do I speak?
A coconut. I need to hear that again.
The smallest lark could carry it, while a strong man might not. Of what do I speak?
What the fuck is a lark? But I'm going to say a tune. A tune!
Yes, I was Andraste's dearest friend in childhood, and always we would sing. She celebrated the beauty of life, and all who heard her would be filled with joy. They say the Maker himself was moved by Andraste's song, and then she sang no more of simple things.
Lady Basila. Thane Shartan. Isn't he a fucking elf?
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The debt of blood must be paid in full. Of what do I speak?
Revengeance!
Yes, my husband Hissarion would have chosen a quick death for Andraste. I made him swear that she would die publicly with her war leaders, that all would know the Imperium's strength. I am justice. I am vengeance. Blood can only be repaid in blood.
Okay.
I'd neither a guest nor a trespasser be. In this place I belong, that belongs also to me. Of what do I speak?
Repeat!
I'd neither a guest nor a trespasser be. In this place I belong, that belongs also to me. Of what do I speak?
Whom?
It was my dream for the people to have a home of their own, where we would have no masters but ourselves. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and thus we followed Andraste against the Imperium. But she was betrayed, and so were we.
A poison of the soul, passion's cruel counterpart. From love she grows, till love lies slain. Of what do I speak?
Well, I don't really know, but it must be jealousy.
Yes, jealousy drove me to betrayal. I was the greatest general of the Alamari. But beside her, I was nothing. Hundreds fell before her on bended knee. They loved her, as did the Maker. I loved her too. But what man can compare with a god?
Chris Angel. Alright. Next.
The bones of the world stretched towards the sky's embrace, veiled in white, like a bride greeting her groom. Of what do I speak?
The mountains!
Yes. I carried Andraste's ashes out of Tevinter into the mountains to the east, where she could gaze ever into her Maker's sky. No more fitting a tomb than this could we find.
No man has seen it, but all men know it. Lighter than air, sharper than any sword. Comes from nothing, but will fell the strongest armies. Of what do I speak?
How is this asshole dressed in Andrastian clothing? If he was a true disciple of Andraste, there was no chantry. What there? Hunger!
Yes, hunger was the weapon used against the wicked men of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker kindled the sun's flame, scorching the land. Their crops failed, and their armies could not march. Then he opened the heavens and bade the waters flow, and washed away their filth. I am Cather, disciple of Andraste and commander of her armies. I saw these things done, and knew the Makers smiled on us.